Coldflow in EX cables is a very misunderstood concept in the EX cable gland world. There's a lot of conflicting advice out there, so today I'm going to break it down simply so you can understand what Coldflow is and why it can be a problem. I'm John from Insight EX, and we help people to understand the EX industry. Coldflow is described in the standard as the irrecoverable displacement of material under load. It can happen with very low forces and often gets worse over time, especially in warm environments. Coldflow is like plastic deformation or creep. The inner bedding material of a cable, especially if it's soft, will flow away from where the pressure is applied, like at the cable gland seal. So here's the idea. A traditional cable gland compression seal works by applying pressure to the cable, and the cable needs to provide an equal and opposite reaction force, so it forms a nice tight seal around the cable. Over time, the compression makes the cable bedding flow away from that pressure point, leaving a gap or at least a thinning of the bedding in that area, and that's Coldflow. Now, Coldflow becomes a serious problem for EXD applications. EXD is all about containment and keeping the explosion inside the enclosure and not letting it ignite the surrounding atmosphere. But an explosion will exploit any weakness it can to escape. So when the bedding has moved and it isn't pushing back against the seal with enough force, the explosion-proof seal is diminished. So when there is an explosion inside the box, is that going to hold it? And that's the potential point of failure. So the big question is, when is this weakness enough for an explosion to escape, causing an external explosion and leading to untold death and destruction? The honest answer is nobody knows exactly where this critical point is. There's no magic number of when Coldflow is too extreme, but that's why you have to ask, if Coldflow is a possibility in your installation, what are you doing to mitigate against it? There are lots of potential solutions on the market. You've got proprietary sealing systems, bedding strength recommendations, barrier glands, and lots of guidance around Coldflow. But now that you understand what Coldflow actually is, you can apply that knowledge safely. I dive deeper into this and a lot more in my full training course on cable and cable gland selection, which is based on the new installation standard, which has just come out. I'll put the link for that below. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.